All right, crypto people, we have an update on both Cardano and Solana. So let's go over the Cardano update first. Cardano, they've issued a major announcement regarding the Chang hard fork. And they basically reiterated that the node will actually be ready in June, which it was, but it takes about a month for all the node operators to test and accept it. So it probably will come about in July or whenever the node operators decide to accept it. Charles doesn't actually control that, the node operators do. So the founder of Cardano, Charles Hodgkinson, addressed recent rumors about the anticipated chain hard fork. Contrary to circulating claims, Hodgkinson clarified that the hard fork was never scheduled for June. Instead, he explained that a fork-ready node is available, and the next step requires 70% of stake pool operators to test and update their systems, which typically takes about a month. So the software is actually already there, as said in June. But everyone, like the node pool operators, which Charles does not control, have to test it, and that takes about a month for them to update. And indeed, in a previous communication, Hodgkinson outlined that in June, Cardano node would reach the necessary version, making it ready for the Chang hard fork. I never said in June. I never said June. That's a misquote. A fork-ready node is ready and waiting for 70% of the stake pool operators to test and update. As I said in the video, this generally requires a month. And of course, this obviously wants to transform Cardano into a fully decentralized entity with a comprehensive blockchain governance system, annual budgets, and by the way, is a community-driven treasury worth nearly $700 million. So this actually matters a lot. The update is important because it introduces the concept of fully decentralized community-run governance to Cardano. This includes an on-chain community consensus governed by its own constitution. So essentially, we will actually be able to vote for Cardano priorities. Hopefully, this will speed up the whole USDC adoption. We can also put an EVM on the priority list. The second stage after the Chang vote is the Cardano Constitutional Convention. Government representatives will draft the first version of the document in Argentina for some reason. The community will then vote on this draft at the end of the year. If it gets the thumbs up, this constitution will set the direction of Cardano's decentralized governance process. So that's the whole thing. The Chang fork is actually going to be adopted this month in July because it takes about a month for them to actually adopt, the node operators to adopt this stuff. And then they'll write a Cardano constitution on how they're going to run it. They'll vote on it, and by the end of the year, we should have fully decentralized Cardano. By the way this bull run is actually looking out, I think we will be able to catch the top next year. Maybe we'll get more development on it. I'm hoping that we can with this stuff, we can quickly get USDC. We can quickly start developing an EVM, and I hope that the people that actually have a stake in this will actually not vote the same way that Charles does, basically. And that means actually focus on different priorities, because his priorities aren't really going to affect the price of the coin. While, if you get some of these priorities that pump the liquidity, you can actually affect the price of the coin. So that's kind of the update on Chang hard fork, and hopefully it goes smoothly. And Solana is one of Solana's officials said the ETF that Van Eck basically filed. One of Van Eck's officials said the Solana ETF they filed is completely a 2024 presidential election play. But the surprising thing is he thinks that regardless of who wins the election, it will actually be accepted. So asset managers Van Eck and 21 Shares have officially submitted S1 applications to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for the first Solana spot ETF in a major development for the cryptocurrency industry. This move comes as the Bitcoin ETF market has experienced significant success since its launch in January, with the Ethereum ETF market expected to commence trading in the upcoming week. So that gives you kind of an update that Ethereum ETF should actually come after the holiday weekend next week. So I would actually be prepared for some major Ethereum moves and volatility coming next week. And he says the Solana ETF market heavily depend on the outcome of the upcoming U.S. election. There is notable differences in their approach to crypto, and potential change in SEC leadership. But he says even if Gensler stays, he says this is like a Gensler PSYOP, and Gensler will eventually accept the Solana ETF anyways. So during a recent Bloomberg interview, Siegel highlighted the growing influence of crypto voters in an election and shifting regulatory environment in Washington. He stated, "We're already seeing a change in the regulatory environment at the elected official level. Both Democrats and Republicans, Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, actually supporting crypto is actually a big step. I know Warren and Gensler aren't on board, but no one really cares about them. Multiple Democrats voting pro-crypto legislation. So it's bipartisan and it really can't be stopped." So basically he said, Siegel further noted that the lack of regulated futures market for Solana could impede the ETF's approval. He attributed this to SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's influence. "We think that this is again Gary Gensler PSYOP. He has created this condition since taking over." Siegel expressed confidence with the evolving regulatory landscape, the Solana ETFs could still be approved even if Biden wins the election. He emphasized that the outcome also depends on the SEC chair and urged the SEC to adopt fairly and timely approval process. So I think there's going to be enough political pressure, even if Biden wins, for Gensler to actually approve the ETF. I think it's bipartisan now, and I think a lot, if not most, Democratic lawmakers actually do want these ETF approvals. So Alex Thorne, head of research at Galaxy Digital, analyzed on-the-spot Solana ETP filings by Van Eck and 21 Shares, similar to Siegel's approach. Thorne highlighted the significance of the recently passed FIT21 Act, plus the Supreme Court's basically smacking, well, not the Supreme Court, but different courts are smacking down the SEC. So the SEC is not having a good time. And FIT21, which clarifies the regulatory boundaries between the SEC and the CFTC, this legislation could play a crucial role in the future cryptocurrency legislation, clarifying whether digital assets should be treated as commodities or securities. And right now, since Binance is not being treated as a security and therefore is a commodity, everything else is going to be treated as a commodity as well. So really, Solana, I think the Solana ETF will actually get accepted, hopefully next year. And it doesn't really matter if who actually wins the presidential election. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. And I will see you guys next time.